Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have an exciting DIY to share with you. I'm going to be showing you guys how we made our fall wreath for 2017. As you guys can see, it is quite embellished, but I do go through different steps to show you how to make just the burlap wreath, how to add on the different embellishments, and even how to add on an initial to your wreath. So you can take whichever part of the tutorial you would like to do and implement different ideas to make a personalized wreath for your family for this fall season. I love to make these. I make one every season and I make them different and do different types of things just to try out different things. So sometimes I do bows, sometimes I do initials, sometimes I do floral. It really just depends on what I'm feeling and what I want to try that season. So let's go ahead and get right into the tutorial, and these are the supplies that you guys will need to make your wreath. Okay friends, so here are the supplies you're going to need to make your wreath. This is a jumbo roll of burlap ribbon. I got it from Hobby Lobby. It's originally $9.99. I got it when it was 50% off, so if it's not 50% off this week, it will be 50% off next week. So you can either wait until it's on sale or you can use the 40% off coupon to get it on a good deal. It does have the wire in the ribbons on like the ends, which is important for when you're trying to make like bows and things like that for your wreath. I also have this letter. It's just an M. I actually have reused this one. I believe it was from Hobby Lobby a while ago. If not, it was from Michael's. And this I just actually pulled off of our 4th of July wreath. So I use these pretty much over and over again. I have a couple of different ones and I just reuse them as the seasons change and as I change out our wreath. And then of course I have a bunch of floral here. This is making all kinds of noise. You can see there's like some styrofoam like acorn things, and I really like these little like ball kind of things, and these little cattails I got as well. All of my floral is from the Dollar Tree, so be sure to grab some and just kind of choose whatever you like. I went with some sunflowers because I feel like sunflowers are so very fall and just, I don't know, seasonally festive. And then I love all of these leaves, so I like to use these to add different just like texture and interest into the wreath as well, not just the flowers. And then finally we have a wreath form. I picked mine up at the Dollar Tree as well. So a lot of these supplies you can get at the Dollar Tree, and depending on what you want on your wreath, you can basically get everything from the Dollar Tree. I will also be using a hot glue gun and obviously hot glue stick refills as needed. And that I believe is everything, and maybe a little bit of ribbon just to tie on the letter to the wreath. So that's everything. So let's go ahead and get started. So guys, the very first thing I like to do is kind of lay out how I want my wreath to look. And just depending on where you want your letter and where you want like the flowers and things like that, things are going to look a little bit different. So I like to really just kind of lay that out and play around with it a little bit before I actually get started with the burlap and putting everything on and all that good stuff. What I want to do. So I'm going to put all of the floral and the letter to the side, and we will come back to that once our burlap is all good to go. So I'm going to open up the burlap now, and you'll see on this, on the actual sticker here that wraps it around, it says wired edge ribbon, and that's what you want to look for because they do, I believe to the best of my knowledge, sell both, the one without the wire in the ribbon and the one with the wire in the ribbon. Alright friends, so once you've decided how you want your wreath arranged, what I like to do is I go ahead and start with my burlap. And I have my hot glue gun here because I like to secure the wreath with hot glue. First thing I'm going to do is go ahead and flip it over so that the front facing side is basically up, so it's backwards. And then I'm going to secure my ribbon. So I loop it through around the back, and then I'm just going to hot glue it here. Alright, so once it's hot glued and it's secure, it's just going to continue cooling, but we're going to flip it back over and we're going to start on the wreath. So the first thing you do is you want to push the ribbon up through that bottom loop where you just put the hot glue, and then you basically just do that 3 times. So you're just going to pull the ribbon through here and up, and then through. And you can make this as large or as small as you want. It's really up to you. I prefer kind of a medium size just because I add things to this. So then you're gonna take it around the back and you're gonna twist it so that it's secure. And then you just go right back through. So once you have your first section done, this is kind of what it should be looking like. Now I will warn you, this is probably the hardest part of getting your wreath made, is the first section between your wire here. So if you can just like kind of hold it all together and get the first part made, the rest of it is pretty easy once it's like pretty secure. So then you basically are just gonna go ahead and twist it around, which I know this is a little bit difficult to see, but you're just gonna twist it and until you're kind of comfortable and it's feeling secure, usually about 3 twists, and then you're gonna go ahead and go to the next row. And again, you're just gonna loop it through. I like to twist it to secure it and then make my next loop. And make another loop, twist it, and make another loop. And basically the twists are helping to secure your wreath as you go. And the great thing about making a burlap wreath is that it's really easy to kind of manipulate once you have it made. So have no fear if it's looking a little bit cray-cray. And then you're gonna twist it again and move on to the next section. And what I do is I actually cross all the way over, because otherwise your loops that are right next to each other along the inside kind of start to like pull at each other. So I'll flip back over so you guys can kind of get an idea here. Alright guys, so you're just going to do the same thing and just continue making your loops until you get all the way around. Okay friends, I'm just about done, but I'm out of burlap on this first roll. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a loop right here on this end and hot glue the ribbon again to itself, and then start to cover the rest of the wreath here with the second roll. I just used the same method in order to attach the new roll to my wreath. And we are going to go back to looping. Okay guys, so now the wreath is totally done. The next thing you're going to want to do is just kind of fluff it up so you get things looking the way that you want it. If you have any leftover burlap, now would be the time to kind of make adjustments so that you can add more before you like cut off the excess. And you're also, now is also going to be the time when you want to add your embellishments. So the thing that I'm going to do first is go ahead and make a loop at the top of my wreath. And this is really just going to be so that we can hang our wreath. Our hook, the way our door is, our wreaths are hanging kind of funny. So I'm going to try and make a little like loop out of the burlap, basically, so that it doesn't have to hang on the actual frame of the wreath. Okay, so before we started, I decided that I wanted the M to hang off of the bottom here, basically. So this is, I know you're looking at it sideways, but this is basically going to be the bottom. So the M will hang here. So I need my loop to be kind of at the top, which is going to be this section. And this is also where I'm going to add my floral. So let's go ahead and do the loop. Now that I have my top figured out, it's gonna hang there. Let's go ahead and attach the letter. Now, one thing that I like to do is use ribbon. For this, you can use pretty much whatever you have on hand. If you have like floral wire, you can do that. So guys, I'm just gonna use this plain ribbon. It's literally just like white ribbon. And what I do is I'm gonna tie it to the back of these little hooks. Has these like little picture hook hanger things, and I'm gonna tie this end first, and then I'll tie it onto the wreath basically, and then I'll tie it to the other end. Alright, and then once you're done, all you're going to do is really just like kind of fluff up your burlap around it so it will hide any trace of that little ribbon in there, any of that good stuff. You can even pull like the burlap kind of through the letters however you'd like to do it. So once I get it hung up, I'll kind of play with it a little bit more. But now we're going to go up to the top where I'm going to add our floral, which will be directly across from the M. It's just going to be like at the top here, kind of cascading down. All right, friends, so now it's time for our floral. And what I like to do is I basically like to separate the floral from the base. You can do that by bending or cutting it. And voila, one done. So you're going to do that to all of them. All right, friends, so I have, I think, as much as I want kind of taken off of its stems. So the great thing about this floral is what I like to do is I like to push up the leaves up so that they're like nice and close around the flowers. And then you can kind of bend them and basically move them around however you need to. So the next thing I like to do is kind of arrange the floral the way that I want it on the wreath. Playing around with this, I'm gonna start tucking flowers and like the stems and things inside, and basically I'll just wrap them around and kind of tuck them behind the burlap so they secure. Alright friends, so once you think you have pretty much the layout the way that you want it, what I'm going to do is go ahead and kind of flip it over as gently as possible, and you basically just start securing things by wrapping the stems around the wreath frame and kind of tucking it into the burlap a little bit more. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay friends, so that is it for our wreath tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it's been helpful, and I hope that it inspires you to get crafty this season. I would love to see your pictures or ideas of what you are making your wreath for, so definitely leave it in a comment below if you're already thinking through wreath ideas for your family. Thanks guys so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.